And today I've come here to laminate on one side. I'm making a trifold folio with a couple of pockets and a little journal made for some map pages. I've got a 12 by 12 paper pad that I've hardly used, so I thought it was a good idea to start using up my papers. So I've got one of the map pages, and also the other thing I've got is lots of map pages as well. I've got two atlases. I've torn one up, as you can see, but the other one's still intact. So I'm trying to come up with ideas of what to make. I managed to get, you can't really tell here, I'll see if I can get the whole reel out, but I got some map material from a local shop, so I'm going to be using that as well. First of all, you take your 12 by 12, depending which way it goes or which way the pattern is, you cut it to 6 inches, cut it in half, like this. And I've been using one half that will get laminated, and the other half I use up for the journal cover and some of the tags, etc. Now, I'm going to use this side. This is a scoring tool, and you need to score. I have to get this right. Let's see if I can get this round the right way. I want that to go like that, in like that, and then that goes in like that, and that goes over. So I need to score, and I did have some measurements written down I've got to find, because there's quite a few you have to do. Score at 3.5. Yes, 11.25. Oh God, I hope I've got this right. Right, you score at 3.5. Then you score at 3 5/8. 4, 5. That gives you a little bit of a spine. Then you score at 7 1/8. 7. Where's my 7? 7 1/8. There. And then you score at 7.5, so that you've got a decent spine to sew in your journal. There. And then you score at 11, which is all the way over here. Sorry if you can hear a buzz, that's the laminator. And 11.25. 1, 2. I'll write the measurements down below so you can see them in the description box. I then get my bone folder and I go over the scoring, make sure we're all in place. It does get a little bit on the fiddly side when you're doing this, as you can see. I'm hoping there's no humming. I've got the aircon on because we had a weather warning here on the Costa Blanca. It's getting very hot this weekend. I did do a test video, don't laugh, see if you could hear the aircon unit running. It didn't seem to, so I just hope it's okay and you haven't got this loud buzzing noise going on. Right, because after this we then laminate on one side, so that you can, and if you can watch for videos that I've done before of laminating on one side, you'll see them fold up there, like that. So that folds in there, you'll have a journal here, and that folds over, and that goes over like that. And as you can see, it looks like that. So now I've got to put it on the laminating. Now I happen to have A3 laminating sheets, so I've used them. Greaseproof paper, as usual. Place it inside the laminating. Put it down. Right, this has to go because you've only got a certain amount of opening, so I have to pull the laminate sheet all the way to the edge of the greaseproof paper. I do leave a bit all the way round just so that I can trim it off and put it down. Do you know what I've forgotten to do? Cut it at the bottom here. So just cut this piece off here. I'll find plenty of uses for that bit another time. Cut off like that, hold that flat, and then place in the laminator here, and let's hope for it to go through and it doesn't move. Right, now I've already what have I done with them? Oh dear. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Oh, up here. Oh dear, it's right in front of me. That's for the tie I've made already. And this is to reinforce where the binding will go with the little small journal. So the next thing I'll do after this, when it comes out the laminator, is to put in the tie to keep it together. Ow. Right, you just pull that off. Whoops. And that is now all laminated. Oops, on one side, like that. Okay, I've trimmed round the edges and rounded the corners on the flap. You now go back over the laminating just to reinforce where you've scored it in the first place. It does score quite well, does fold quite well even when it's been laminated. Like that. And then there. And there. Oops, can't see, can you? It's down there. So that now folds in like that. And is like that. I might actually trim a bit off the edge there because that's still quite, I'll get my little trimmer, you can see it better with that one. As when you fold it in, when you've laminated, it can, this one seems to get a bit closer to the edge that I want than my big one. Like that. And that should, that way round, fold in a lot better now. Yeah, that does, like that. Now we need to put the holes in to put the eyelets in, and I need my pencil, which is over here, and my ruler, which is over there. Right, here we go. Now I need to go down 3 inches, obviously, from the card. There, and then 3 inches. You're doing it on here, as you can see from this one. So you go in 3 inches from here, and I've gone in, I can't remember exactly how much I went in. Oh, just under, whoops, under half an inch. So from the edge, oh, it's about right, I've done it. So about there. And for the middle one, you're going to, unfortunately, or not unfortunately, you will need your big bite, because otherwise it won't go all the way in. And I do turn it and hold it so that I can see where I'm actually punching. I don't know if you can see that. Ooh, where are we? Down over there. I use the big one. I do it that way, and then I must admit I go back to the little one for this one here and sort of gauge it about right out there. Then I have my eyelets here. And I'm using, yes, I hope I am, if I can find some in here, vintage coloured bronze ones. There. Now you have to get this round the right way. That goes in there. Whoops. And then you go down with that. There. And then the same with the big one. Bring the big one in. Put it onto the eyelet. Put your eyelet in. And then press down. Like that. And this then, you can then get your material that way round. I have to figure it out. And we go down here. Dear oh dear, you have to, I mean, you could use something like organza ribbon. I had this matte paper material, so I thought it was a good idea to use that. So you go down here. So your fastening will be actually behind the journal that you're going to make. Fold it over, and then I put it together like that, and then I try and level them up so that when you come to close it, you've got enough for your bow, like that. And then that comes over and ties up. There's not anything in there at the moment, so you'll find when you first do this, it's kind of a bit bouncy, as I call it, because you haven't got any bulk in there at the moment to hold it down. But it comes out like that. Right, the journal cover, this is the other half of the 12 by 12. The journal cover is 6.5 by 5 5/8. So 6.5. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is there. So I'm going to go with this side as the journal cover. And 5 5/8. So I think I'll take the bottom off. 5, 4, 5/8. There. And that can go in the scrap box over there. That to the side. So I'm just folding that in half. Like that. There. Now I have made some pages here. I've put together. The pages are 6.25 by 5.25. As you can see, I've got lots of maps. And the other thing, I've got a doily. I'm going to use this as my middle page. So I fold that in half. I've got some coffee paper I'm putting in as well. This I think is going to be my front page. Oh, it's grease. Grease. Okay, and then I'll put that in there. Then I've got a, where are we? A matte page that came from my porch prints that I've tea stained. And then that's my middle page in there. And I think that's another page, book page, that I'll put in like that. And I thought, yes, I did have. I've also got an invoice from the old design shop. So I fold that in half as well. And with this one, I'm going to fold the ends in, sides in, like that. You can see. So I'll fold the sides in like that, not quite level, and the same the other side. There. I will glue one down as a pocket, and I'm going to put a paper clip on the other one. Then I've also got, what have I done with it here? I've got a bit of a half sheet. I actually think I'd like that to be smaller. There's another piece of coffee paper here that I can put in. Where should I put that? I think I'll put that between these two. Oops, that's round the wrong way. Oh, that's Romania. Put that in there. That's in there. And then I've got, where have I done with it? Doily. Fold my doily in half, like that, and I think I'll put that there, in between, like that. So that will fit in there. Just about, I need to trim. I thought that was going to be okay, but it looks like I'm going to have to trim down a bit. Right, I will go and sort out trimming these down and I'll be back. Right, I've trimmed it up. It turned out I hadn't folded the invoice bit one in very well, so it all I needed to refold it. So now I've got it like this. This bit I hadn't folded in very well on both sides, and the map page did need trimming down, but that's okay. Got the doily, map, coffee paper, and then the flags page. So now I need to reinforce this part. So I'm going to use, well, you can use, I would use 3-in-1, but this is the equivalent. It's block we get from a shop over here. And I've just got to put that down and then let that dry. And then we can sew in the journal. Got to figure out which way this goes that way. So put that in there, like that, and then just let that dry, and then we can sew in the journal. While that's drying, I'm going to make some tags. So, actually no, I think I'll use my little one. I'm going to make a journal card from, now should we go with Mongo? I think we'll go with Monaco. Going to cut that down, trim it off, and just make a little journal card with this. I've got some, I'm not sure it will fit on there though. No, it's too thin. I have got some card. Yeah, it will fit on there. So I will just put that over there for the moment. And get my tacky glue and glue this down onto here as a journal card, like this. So how is everybody doing today? Saturday here, the weekend, and as I say, we are supposed to be in for a heat wave, so we'll have to wait and see, but it's certainly going like that. I think I'll be having the aircon on tonight when I go to bed. Woke up during the night, so hot. There we go. Put that down there. And I also use my card just to make sure it's squidged in all over. Scissors, and trim this off. I have been collecting all these bits and putting them in a tray. I do need to sort something out with them that needs trimming there as well. Like that. So I need to do that. Right, and I'm also going to get the vintage photo and my mat, which I've put away. There. And just ink around the edges just to take that whiteness off of it, like that, and then around there as well on the coffee card. So that's one journal card, and then I've also got some map here left. So with this I'm going to make a tag. Switzerland. Oh, it was sad. They lost in the football last night. To Spain, mind you. But they did so well getting to penalties, I believe. I didn't watch it, but my partner kept coming in and out saying, oh, they've missed a penalty, they've got a penalty. He got all excited. And then tonight, of course, it's England. So we need to see, against the Ukraine, we need to see how we do there. I never always hold out a lot of hope, but you never know. So, stick this on here. Something else I've done this morning, I've refilled all my little glue pots. So I've got plenty of glue now. It gets quite difficult when they start getting to the end, doesn't it? So put that on there, like that, and the card over it. Tissue, and then just trim this down like this. Unless you're very new to junk learning, you know what you're doing here, don't you, everybody? And as you can see, it's got quite a lovely pattern on the back. I prefer my smaller scissors when I'm doing this. Trim that down like that, and along there. Didn't quite get it to the edge. There. Oh, and there. Wasn't very good, was it? And then get my my dauber for down the edges, just to get rid of that stark whiteness you get when you cut something. So there we go. Okay, I think I'll end it there as I'm waiting for the material to dry with the reinforcement of the spine. So thank you very much for watching, and please like and subscribe and wait for the second part.